Hey guys, Dave with First Place Auto Parts. We're in the studio today, and I'm over 20 years, over two different body styles, and they came in a lot of different trim levels. And in today, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you what trim levels were available for your truck so you better understand how your truck came, and maybe you want to restore it to a different trim level. Look guys, this will have a lot to do when it comes time to ordering parts, whether it's for your interior or for emblems like I have here. So guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about the trim levels that were available for the C10 trucks so you have a better understanding of what you've got and maybe what you want. Guys, stay tuned. Today we're talking C10 truck trim levels. Hey guys, if you like today's video, please consider subscribing to the First Place Auto Parts YouTube channel. We're going to continually be adding new videos every week where we show you how to put new parts on. We take a look at the latest parts that are available, and we go to some pretty cool car guy stuff I'm pretty sure you're going to want to see. Now, trim levels are a way for manufacturers, the OEMs, to bundle different components into a package. Look, this is back in a time when you could actually order your C10 truck any way you wanted it. And what they found was it was more beneficial, it was easier to order, but also more profitable for them to bundle some of these things together. And that's why we have trim levels. Look, the trim level, typically there'll be a badge on the front fender that announces what the trim level is, but a lot of times, especially over the last 40 years, those badges may have been either lost, removed, or skimmed over. So we're going to talk today about the first trim level. And look, this has to do with the first generation of C10 trucks, basically made from the 1960s to the 1970s. And that is the custom appearance trim level. Now in 1960, trucks were just that. They were trucks. They were nothing about creature comfort. But the custom trim level that was available back in 1960 through the 1970s started to improve the interior and the exterior of the truck a little bit. Things like chrome moldings, also a chrome trim ring on the horn, and color-keyed floor mats became available. They started to become more and more upscale, if you will. They started to look a little nicer. These were appearance packages. They had nothing to do with suspension or the way the truck performed. In 1971, all those things would start to become standard in the custom appearance package. But in 1960, 1970, the custom trim level was just simply some molding, a chrome trim ring on the horn button, and also color-keyed floor mats. For 1960 through 1970, there was another package called the Custom Comfort and Convenience Package. Like trucks at this point, like I said earlier, were pretty bare bones. A lot of the things the passenger side didn't even get that the driver's side got. So the Custom Convenience and Appearance Package, what you got was a full foam bench seat that was a little more comfortable than the standard bench seat. But you also got the exterior door lock for the passenger side door, which was not available on just the custom. They were a lot sportier. You could see the truck was starting to evolve. So the custom appearance and convenience package was a step up. Starting in 1967, the C10 truck, it started to become a little bit nicer. And then starting in 1968, GM got their collective thoughts together and said, hey, you know what? People might want convenience, but they also may want appearance. And they offered what we know as the CST, or the Custom Sport Truck package, when it's a trim level. Look, this thing was only offered for 2 years. Combined everything from the appearance package to also from the convenience package and put them together. Plus you got additional things like the colored carpet you couldn't get before that. Particularly what you got was a rubber floor mat. But the truck started to combine things, and GM got smarter and got better at offering packages. They realized that people wanted a truck to look good but also felt good inside. And the CST as we know it, and there'll be a trim level or a trim badge on the actual side of the truck that'll announce that, was only offered for 2 years, but it was really the combination that started to kick off future trim levels that had a lot more comfort and a lot more appearance all combined into one. Now it is at this point where GM started to actually branch off from a basic work truck to a much more up-level truck. But they realized that people wanted more creature comforts. Trucks were starting to get used not just for work, but also for play. And starting in 1971, what we had was the custom truck. And this was essentially, or the custom trim level truck, which was essentially a work truck. It was your base bare bones truck that would get you from point A to point B, but still haul a load. The custom was offered from 1971 to 1974, with the custom deluxe version of it offered from 1971 all the way through 1985. Look, the custom deluxe had a few more creature comforts like a plaid bench seat, which makes these trucks fairly unique. But the custom and the custom deluxe, look, they had a long run. It's what we call a work truck today. A lot of times you found them in white because they were bought by fleets, but even back then they were a bare bones basic truck. If you have a custom or a custom deluxe, you may not have things like air conditioning or even power brakes. Look, these things were very simple trucks. They make great drivers, but you certainly give up a lot of creature comforts. And starting in 1971, well, Chevrolet trucks, they started to get a little bit nicer. They became less of a work truck and more of an actual daily driver. In the Cheyenne trim level, look, there was two trim levels offered with the Cheyenne. There was Cheyenne and there was Super Cheyenne. The Cheyenne trim level was offered from 1971 all the way through 1982, and it had an 11-year run. The Super Cheyenne, well, it wasn't that popular. It ran from 1971 through 74. It had a 3-year run, and with the Cheyenne, what you got were some creature comforts that started to really make the truck a lot nicer to ride in, but also look better as well. Things like chrome front and rear bumpers were standard options with the Cheyenne trim level. Also, you got an upgraded bench seat that was more comfortable and more supportive, and you still had the options of some upgraded bucket seats with a center console and a place to put things. So it was a nice upgrade. The trucks were becoming more daily drivable, more livable with on a daily basis. The Super Cheyenne, well, that's a little bit different. That truck and that really paints, that trim level paints an era because it has what we were familiar with, all that wood grain inside. It ran on the dash and also on the door panels, but you also got that houndstooth interior for the first time. Look, the houndstooth interior, I think it's cool. Look, it was really made popular in the first gen Camaros, but in a truck, it's very distinctive and it really paints an image of the 70s. Either way, the Cheyenne and the Super Cheyenne was the first step towards the super luxury trucks that we know today, such as the Platinums and the Silverados and the Premiers. But the actual Cheyenne, it was your first step towards a daily driver vehicle that had creature comforts and also looked the part. The Scottsdale trim level package ran from 1975 well into the mid-80s and was available as pretty much a continuation of the Cheyenne trim level package. Ultimately, the Scottsdale outlived the Cheyenne brand name and continued on for years after the Cheyenne name and the trim level was eliminated. But the Scottsdale trim level was nowhere near what the Silverado was. The Silverado was still the top dog. We'll talk about that trim level in a second. But the Scottsdale was that middle level truck that we started to get into where it had a lot more creature comforts. Look guys, this stuff may or may not matter to you when you find a great deal on a Squarebody. But if you want something that has creature comforts like air conditioning, maybe power windows and power locks, again, you can mix and match what you ordered. But the Scottsdale trim level is something where you started to get into things like carpeted floors and nicer seating and just nicer appointments on the outside and the inside as well. So Scottsdale is well worth looking for. So is the Cheyenne. And that leads us to the final big dog in the trim levels, and that is the Chevrolet Silverado. And started in 1975, the Chevrolet trim level that was known as the Silverado became available. Look, the Silverado is still available to this day. It has long legs. It is considered to be, or was considered to be, the premium trim level. It had a lot of things, a lot of bright work on the outside, chrome bumpers, air conditioning, power windows, power locks. And as that brand name went on all the way through the Squarebody, it got more and more creature comforts. It was considered to be the top of the line that you could get. It was part of GM's envision and Chevrolet's envisionment of the work truck as we know it becoming more of a sport utility vehicle. Look, it became far more usable. The creature comforts allow you to drive it without the penalties of driving a pickup truck. The Silverado brand name continues to this day, and if you're looking for the top of the line level C10 truck, it's going to be one that has a Silverado nameplate on its front fenders. Chevrolet offered a bunch of different trim levels for the truck, and hopefully this video is helping you understand better what either you own or what you're going to buy. In a future video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delve deeper into the trim levels to help you better understand what that could have meant if you had a Cheyenne or a Scottsdale or a Silverado. It's a long list of parts and differences. Too long for today's video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you need parts to fix up your car, your classic American muscle car or truck, go to First Place Auto Parts at fpautoparts.com. There we have everything you need to make your truck or car look better, go faster, or stop harder. Guys, until next time, keep the hammer down and keep it between the guardrails.